How are you?
Good, thanks.
What can I do for you?
Just come from Wat Yannasangwararam. I spent 2 weeks meditation together with Ajahn, and just want to come and listen to your Dhamma talk. But I think it will be in Thai.
Yeah, are you here by yourself?
Yes. My wife, she came here about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I see.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Australia.
Australia. And what is your itinerary here?
Tomorrow I'm flying back.
Going back to Melbourne?
Sydney.
Sydney.
Yeah.
Have you read my books before?
My wife, she brought me a book back from you, and I was reading it halfway, and I just given it away this morning. I came, somebody asked about you, and I said, I have a book, and he wanted it, so I surrendered my book.
Okay. Would you like it?
Yes, I like it.
Okay.
I hope you have one for me again.
It's my autobiography. And Dhamma for the Asking is 2 volumes.
It's 2 volumes. Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. My wife, she brought this to offer to you.
Thank you. Do you have anything you'd like to ask?
Yes, in one of the books you mentioned that we're on the last bus.
We're on the last bus.
We're on the last bus, and so we have a very good opportunity because we have a Buddha in this lifetime, and we don't know, we reborn again, our next realm, even human realm, we don't know if there is a Buddha again, so we don't know we have a chance to know the teachings. So if I will try my best so I can reach at least Sotabana in this lifetime, but if cannot, so what do you suggest? How we can make sure we will be reborn and we can reconnect with the Buddha way again?
Just follow the three teachings of the Buddha. Avoid doing bad karma, do only good karma, and purify your mind. This is the way that will guarantee your existence in the human or the high spiritual realm, and prevent you from having to take animal birth or to be in hell. These are the 3 basic things you have to do. Do good karma, like giving dana, generosity, be kind, be helpful to other human beings and animals. Don't hurt other people. And meditate so your mind can become pure. If you can keep doing this, it will become habitual, and every life you take, you will continue to do this. Then eventually you either get to Nibbana by yourself, by becoming a Buddha yourself, or when you run into the next Buddha, and you can follow his teaching very easily. So this is basically what we are supposed to do, is keep building good karmas and preventing doing bad karmas, and try to eliminate the defilements in our mind, greed, hate and delusion. And this will eventually take us to Nibbana, either by ourselves or with the help of the Buddha. Because we might forget, after we die from this life, we might forget the teaching of the Buddha. And instead of doing good karmas, we might do bad karmas. Instead of eliminating defilements, we might be accumulating defilements. If doing this, it will tie us deeper into the realms of rebirth. So it's better to be able to practice now and become enlightened. Once you become enlightened, you know what's good for you and what's bad for you, what makes you happy and what makes you sad. Right now we don't know. Sometimes we're happy, sometimes we are sad. We cannot control them. But in fact, when you become enlightened, you'll see the cause that make you happy and you'll see the cause that make you sad. So all you have to do is eliminate the cause that make you sad and develop the cause that make you happy. And you will be happy all the time. When you're happy all the time, you're in Nibbana. So, is this understandable?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So you just have to keep on doing what you've been doing. Do it more and more. Do until you finally see the Four Noble Truths in your heart, in your mind. The Four Noble Truths right now is in the text, in the word of the Buddha, but not in our mind. When in fact the Four Noble Truths is working right now in our mind, but we don't see it, because we don't look inside. We keep look outside. We look outside and see things and think that these things are the things that make you happy and sad. But they're not the ones that make you happy and sad. The things that make you happy and sad is in your heart, in your mind. Your delusion makes you sad. The wisdom, the teaching of the Buddha makes you happy. So you have to turn inward, not looking outward, looking inside by meditating. When you close your eyes and concentrate on your breathing, you're pulling your mind inside. And when the mind becomes completely calm, then the mind has entered inside. And once it's inside, it will be able to see what the mind is doing. It is the doing of the mind that makes you sad or happy. But we don't know this because we never look inside. We blame everything that we see to be the cause of our happiness and sadness. See, when we see someone we love, they die, he or she die, we become sad. So we blame death for causing us to be sad. But that's not the cause that makes us sad. The cause that makes us sad is our minds clinging to life, clinging to something that has to die. See, when you cling to something, you want it to last. But the thing that you cling to is not lasting, doesn't last. So when it doesn't last, you become sad. But if you have the wisdom to see things as they are, see that things don't last. And when things don't last, you don't become sad because you know that's the way things are. See? So you have to train your mind to see things as they are, not seeing things as you want them to be. Right now we see things and we want them to be this or that. We never understand that things don't become what we want them to become. Things become what they want to become. So if you meditate and your mind has gone inside, then you'll see that your sadness and your happiness is a working of your mind. Your mind is happy if your mind let go of everything. Your mind becomes sad when your mind becomes attached to everything. So that's the point. Once you get inside, you know what to do. You know that you have to let go of everything. No attachment to anything. No attachment to your possession, your wife, your family, your friends, your status, whatever that you have. You must not attach to them, because sooner or later they will disappear. And when they disappear, if you attach to them, you become sad. But if you let go, you become happy. So that's the meaning of enlightenment. See? To see the working of your mind. To see the one who is creating happiness or sadness. It's not the wealth you have or the wealth you lose. You know, it's your attachment or your letting go. That's the main culprit. The cause of your happiness or the cause of your sadness. But you don't see this because you're constantly looking outside. So you think you're happy when you gain. You're sad when you lose. So you blame the losing to be the problem. So you don't want to lose. The harder you want to lose, you don't want to lose, the more sadder you become. That's why people don't understand why must you give up your wealth to be happy. People saying you have to have lots of wealth to be happy. But the truth is the other way around, see. You become happy when you have no wealth. That's what the Buddha did. He gave up all his wealth and lived as a beggar. And he's happy because he's got nothing to lose. When you got nothing to lose, you don't get sad. It's only when you have something to lose that's when you become sad. See what I mean? Mm-hmm. Okay. See, the sadness and happiness of the mind depends on clinging, attachment, or letting go of things that you have. If you can let go of things that you have, when you lose it, you don't feel sad, because you're ready to let it go, right? But when you still cling to it, when it leaves you, you become sad. So it's not losing or gaining that makes you sad or happy. It is attachment or letting go. That's the Four Noble Truths in the practical phrase, you know. So to summarize, it's either letting go or attach. If you can let go, you will be free of sadness. If you cling, you attach, you will be subjected to sadness, and you will never have happiness, true happiness.
How can I let go of my family? My family still need me. I cannot just leave them or make them suffer.
What if they leave you? Have you ever thought they might leave you before you leave them?
But now they don't.
Yeah, but that's a possibility.
It is.
Maybe one day they get on the train and the train just crash. They leave you before you even leave them. What do you do then?
They might go monastery, become a monk.
So, you can become now. Just think that they already left you.
Mm.
Because sooner or later they will leave you.
Mm.
If they don't leave you, you leave them, right? You think you're gonna live forever together all the time? Okay, why don't you look at it that way? If you see that eventually there will be the separation. So what's the difference of separating now or separating later? It's the same thing. It's your attachment that makes you cannot leave them. See? But if you constantly remind yourself of the truth of separation, you can let go of them. So you never contemplate on the fact of separation long enough, hard enough. So you still think that you're going to live together forever. But they could leave you or you could leave them any day. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, who knows. Yeah. But eventually that will happen. But that might be too late for you to become a monk. If they leave you at the age of 80. See, if you think they leave you now, then you still can become a monk. This is what contemplation on impermanence means. You have to look at everything as impermanent. And it doesn't matter when. Once they are impermanent, today or tomorrow. Doesn't matter. See? So you have to constantly contemplate on impermanence until you eventually become convinced that this is the truth. This is what will happen sooner or later. So it's better be sooner, so that you have time to prepare yourself. You don't have to leave them, but you just have to let go of them. No bond attached to them. Like the Buddha, when he heard that his wife gave birth to a son, he just said, "Oh, here come another bond." So he let go of that bond. The Buddha teaches us to constantly contemplate on impermanence, on separation, on death. If we contemplate it continually, we know that this is what will happen. And it doesn't matter when it happens. The point is, are you ready to let it happen or not? See? That's the test. You have to ask yourself, are you ready to let this happen? If you are, you won't feel sad when it happens. But if you're not ready, when it happens, you become sad. And that's the whole purpose of Buddhist practice, is to overcome sadness, to get rid of sadness from the heart. Sadness is like a disease. When you're sick, what do? You have to get rid of your sickness, right? You have to take medicine to get rid of it. Same way, Buddhism is like medicine. Buddhist practice is like medicine. Its sole purpose is to get rid of your sadness. But if you don't use Buddhism to get rid of sadness, what's the point of following Buddhism? You read Buddha's teaching, but you don't follow his teaching. You say, "Oh no, I cannot leave my family. I cannot let go of my family." It means you are contradicting your physician direction. Your physician say, "Take this medicine, and you'll be cured, and you'll be well." But you say, "I don't want to be well." So what's the point of going to see the physician in the first place? The physician say, contemplate on death, contemplate on separation, contemplate on impermanence. If you keep doing it, then one day you'll come to see, there's no other way out. Separation is real, death is real. And once you see this, then the only way you can do is to let go of everything that you're gonna lose eventually. When you let go, then you can get rid of your sadness. One of the reasons why you cannot let go is because you don't have the strength to do it. You know, but you cannot let go. So you have to build strength, mental strength. The mental strength that you need is the practice of meditation. You have to concentrate your mind to become one. Right now your mind is scattered all over the place. You want to pull it all into one point. To become strong, you need to be fully focused, fully concentrated. In order to do this, you need something like a lighting rod. You know what a lighting rod is? When you build a house, in order to protect your house from lightning strike, you have a rod, right? A metal rod. So when the lightning strike, it goes to that rod, and then it's directed down to the ground, instead of hitting the roof and destroying the house. You need something to converge the mind, to bring the mind into one. And this is what we call the mindfulness. Mindfulness is like a lightning rod. You have to focus on one object, like your breathing, for instance, your breath. Mindfulness of breath. Beware of your breath only and nothing else. Don't let your mind scatter to other things. Concentrate on just watching your breathing. Then your mind can become one. See? When it becomes one, it becomes peaceful and calm and strong. Then it can resist your attachment. It can get rid of your attachment. When you see that attachment is the cause of your sadness. So you have to practice mindfulness, bringing your mind into one point. Don't let your mind think, because when you think, your mind starts to go all over the place. You are here, you could be in Sydney right now with your mind. Your body is here, but your mind could be in Sydney, in Bangkok, all over the world. So you want to need something to bring that scattered mind into one. You need mindfulness of an object, either your body or a mantra or your breathing. If you can bring your mind to become focused on one point, one object, it will become calm, peaceful and strong. It can do anything that wisdom tells your mind to do. Wisdom says your sadness is caused by your attachment. If you want to get rid of your sadness, you have to get rid of your attachment. So when you know that, if you're strong, if your mind is strong, you can get rid of it. Because you know sooner or later there will be separation. Today, tomorrow, doesn't matter. It's the same separation. If you still attach to it tomorrow, you'll still be sad. If you attach to it today, you are sad today. But if you can let go of it today, you will be not sad today. So the purpose of Buddhist meditation, Buddhist practice, is to get rid of our sadness that is caused by our attachment to things and people. Because things and people are impermanent. They come and they go. They're not with you all the time. They're not your possession. There's something like you borrow from somebody else. One day you have to return it to them. Once you see this truth, and if you have the the strength of mind, then you can let go of your attachment. Because you don't want to be sad. Sadness is bad. When you feel sad, sometimes you want to kill yourself. Sadness is harmful to you, not good for you. And sadness is caused by your attachment. So attachment is not good for you. You have to get rid of your attachment. Okay? So try to develop mindfulness to the point where you can bring your mind inside to become peaceful and calm. Once you have that, then it's very easy to get rid of everything, to let go of everything. Because you can exist by yourself, you don't need anything. Right now you need your family to make you happy. Right? Before you were alone, you felt lonely. You thought, maybe I'll have a family and I'll be happy. That's because you could not live alone. Because you're not happy being alone. But if you meditate and your mind becomes calm, you can be happy being alone, living alone. Then you don't need anybody or anything. So this is what you're lacking right now, the happiness inside, the happiness within yourself. So when you're not happy, you don't have happiness inside, you have to go look for happiness outside. But the happiness outside is temporary. See? It can come and go. It can go suddenly. When that happiness disappears suddenly, what happens? Sadness comes in right away, right? That's because you don't see impermanence. You think the happiness you acquire will be permanent, but they're not. They can leave you any time, any day. So try to find happiness within yourself by meditating. Once you have this happiness in yourself, then you don't need the happiness from other people or things. You can let go. If they're still with you, fine, doesn't matter. But you no longer need them. But you let them stay with you. If they don't want to leave you, you let them stay with you. But if they want to leave you, it's fine also. Doesn't matter. That's why we have to meditate. To build a new kind of happiness. So that we don't have to rely on the happiness, on the kind of happiness that we have to use other people or things. How long did you stay at Wat Yannasangwararam?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
And you're going back to Sydney tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow evening.
Do you have a place to go to in Sydney in terms of Buddhist practice?
Yeah, I'm a supporter of Wat Yannasangwararam. In Weidman's Ferry. I bring him down there every week, every weekend, and I'm helping building kuti. I'm like the handyman up there.
Are there any Australian monks there?
Australian monks. Yeah, Ajahn. And I think many come from Ajahn Brahm. And it's Ajahn Tan who is looking after this as well.
I see.
Yeah.
How many monks in residence?
Maybe 5 monks. There's 3 Thai monks from Wat.
And true for
There's some Western monks as well from Ajahn Brahm. And yeah, the monks they come and go with, it's hard to keep track.
Does Ajahn Brahm go to that temple?
No, he has nothing to do with it.
I have nothing.
No, he has nothing to do with it.
He's in Western Australia.
He is in Western Australia, yeah. Just that the monks previously they obeyed there, and then they move around, and then they ended up in Wat Yannasangwararam.
You have any activities in the temple there?
Yeah, I'm helping building kuti, repairs, and sometimes we have a retreat. Like when Ajahn he visited us in February, and there was a weekend for 3 days, a retreat, as a meditation retreat. It was like this.
And the people who go there, are they Asian people, or are they
mainly Thai supporters?
mainly Thai?
Yeah, from the Thai community, Vietnamese, Indonesians.
Some local.
There are some locals, Westerners as well. Yeah. But it's mainly the Thai community who supports.
Is it right in the city?
Sorry?
Is it situated in the city?
No, it's away from the city. It's in the middle of the bush. It's about 2.5 hours from Sydney.
I see.
So what the ferry?
What Buddha Dhamma?
Yeah, Wat Yannasangwararam, the lighthouse ferry. You have to cross the river by ferry, and then it goes into the bush, 16 kilometers. Very peaceful place.
I heard of a place run by a nun called Wiseman Ferry. Have you heard of it?
By a nun. That place used to be. I think she donated this. Many years ago. It was 20, 30 years ago. I think she donated the land to the monastery.
It's now a monastery.
Yeah, it used to be a meditation center many years ago, but now they're converting it to a monastery.
And under whose guidance?
Ajahn
The same.
Yeah, he's a Vietnamese background.
I think he came here a few months ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I think I met. He's from Sydney. I think so.
Not sure. It's now. Yeah.
And there's also a Buddhist center right in the city, run by an Indonesian Australian lady.
Yes, yeah.
The mother of the Indonesian monk who stayed with Ajahn.
Anand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know her. Yeah.
Have you been to that place also?
Yeah, she has 2 places. One is like a meditation place right in the city, in the market, and she got a monastery
outside,
further out west. Yeah.
She hoped maybe her son will go back there. She hoped maybe her son will go back and live there.
He's already there.
He's already there.
Yeah, he's already there.
Maybe that's why she built it, so that her son has a place to go to.
Yeah.
So she wants to be close to her son.
Mm-hmm.
She came here a couple of times.
Oh, did she? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a small world.
Yeah, Buddhist circle is very small.
Yeah.
So, anything else you'd like to ask?
Sometimes during meditation or every time my leg or my foot falls asleep.
Ignore it. Just ignore it.
Just ignore it?
Yeah.
Because like now I cannot feel my foot.
Yeah.
It feels like
It doesn't matter. It's
no feeling at all.
Just ignore it. Concentrate on your meditation.
Yeah.
And it will eventually disappear.
Disappear.
Yeah, everything is impermanent.
Yeah. But I still can walk later on.
No problem. It's natural for the body to be like that.
Yeah.
Just understand the nature of the body. That things change in the body. The condition of the body changes due to the different condition causing it to change. Eventually it will become a corpse. So why worry about it? What you should worry is about your mind. The mind is something that belongs to you, something that you will be with you all the time. But this body is only with you temporarily. Sooner or later you're gonna leave this body. So don't worry about too much about the body. Worry about your mind. How to make your mind happy and not sad. That's the goal. So when you meditate, you want to control your mind. So your mind, once your mind is controlled, your mind can become happy. And when your mind is happy, whatever happens to your body doesn't bother your mind. Right now it does bother your mind because your mind is attached to your body. But once you meditate, you can pull the mind from attaching to the body. Once it doesn't attach to the body, what happens to the body doesn't matter. It's like the body is like somebody else's body. You're not bothered by other people's body, right? Whether they're sick or not. But you're bothered by your body. Why? Because you're attached to your body. If you're not attached to your body like you're not attached to other people's body, then whatever happened to your body will be just like other people's body. It will not affect your mind. That's the purpose of meditation. You want to pull your mind out of the body. Once it's out from the body, then whatever happens to the body doesn't matter. Doesn't bother the mind. The mind is like a person living in a house. When the house catches on fire, what happens? It affects the person who lives in the house, right? But if the person gets out of the house, whatever happens to the house doesn't matter, right? Okay. So you have to get your mind out of the body. By meditating, you're getting your mind out of the body. You get the mind back inside the mind, which is not in the body. The mind is in a different sphere. The body is in the physical sphere, but the mind is in the psychic sphere. See? But the mind doesn't like to stay in the psychic sphere. It likes to stay in the physical sphere. It likes to stay in the body. So whatever happens to the body, the mind becomes affected. But if you can pull the mind out of the physical sphere and go back into the psychic sphere, then whatever happened to the body would not affect the mind. That's the purpose, to separate the mind from the body. If you're fully concentrated, whatever happens to the body doesn't bother the mind at all. No matter how much pain there is in the body, it will not affect the mind. Because the mind is not in the physical sphere anymore. It's outside. It's in the psychic sphere. The Buddha compared the body is like a house that is burning. Why stay in the house that is burning? Get out, or will burn one day. The body will get sick, get old and die. That's what the body is burning means. So the mind has to get out of the body by letting go of the body, by concentrating the mind to pull the mind out of the body. If you meditate, you understand what I say. If you succeed in your meditation, if your mind can enter into jhana, then you understand all what I'm saying. Right now you are still with your body, see? So you don't understand. You think you and the body is one. So whatever happens to the body, it happens to you also. You are the mind. The mind is the one who thinks, the one who knows. It's not the body that think and know. They are two separate persons. The body is like the house. The mind is like the occupier of the house, occupant of the house. So if you want to be safe, you have to get out of the house. Because your house one day will collapse. Okay? Alright.
Thank you. I hope I can succeed quickly.
It's just a matter of doing it, that's all. The more you do it, the quicker it becomes. The less you do it, the longer it takes. So how many hours you meditate a day?
For the last 2 weeks, maybe 10 hours.
Yeah, but the rest of the year?
Rest of the year, I meditate 1.5 hours in the morning.
Why don't you meditate 10 hours a day? See? You have the time to meditate, but you don't meditate. You dedicate your time for some other thing. But these 2 weeks you dedicate your time to meditation. Why not dedicate it all year long? You get a lot of result very quickly. Compare yourself to a professional and amateur. Who is better, a professional or an amateur? In sport, playing golf, for instance. Amateur golf player and professional golf player, who is far more better? Same way with meditator. Amateur meditator or professional meditator. The Buddha and his disciples, they are all professional meditators. That's why they win all the tournaments. Why amateur never win any tournament? Because they do it for fun. But the Buddha and his disciples, they don't do it for fun. They do it for salvation. That's the difference. Okay, I want to speak Thai now.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
If you want to sit down, fine. If you want to go, fine also. Anything else you want to say?
No, I'm happy. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I understand your point.
Read my books.
It's very clear. Yes,
It's pretty much the same.
Books, yeah.
Yeah. The mind is the most important, not the body. Because the mind lasts forever. The body only lasts temporarily. No matter how well you take it, looking after it, you will lose it one day. But if you look after your mind well, you'll get supreme happiness from it. That's the mind of the Buddha and his disciples. They look after their mind well, so they become happy, very happy, forever.